Well, it's good to be back in my hometown in Michigan. And one thing I always remember about this place is that in the summertime, people are out on that lake fishing. They love to fish. And I grew up fishing. I used to love to cast that line out and watch it fly through the air and then hit the water and then wait for that fish to bite. And if the fish bites, you reel it in. But even if it doesn't bite, if nothing bites after a while, you're reeling that line in and you're casting again. Well, I want to talk to you about one-time casting because that's what Jesus talks to us about in his word. This is your morning cup of inspiration. In 1 Peter 5:7, Jesus says, and I'm going to read it here, that we should cast all our care upon him, for he careth for you. But when we cast the cares, our cares and our fears on Jesus, we're to leave them there. We're not supposed to keep taking them back on us. And how do we do that? It's really difficult to do, I know, especially with all the worries and the fears today, with all the crazy things that are going on in our world. But the key is trust. We have to trust God that he is going to handle all of our worries, all of our fears, and he wants us to know that he's got it covered, that he's always with us. He says he cares so much about us in the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and I'm going to read verses 29 through 31 from the King James. It says, "Are not two sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore. Ye are of more value than many sparrows." That's how much God cares about you. He knows all of the birds in the air. Not one of them falls to the ground without him knowing about it. The hairs of our head are numbered, which in my case is not too tough anymore, but at one time it was. But he wants us to give him our worries and our fears. He wants us to trust him. We need to trust him with all our heart and all our soul. Remember that song? His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I love that song. Think of that today. Think of that when you're filled with worry or you start to take on a lot of anxiety, and just know his eye is on the sparrow and he's watching over you and he cares for you. Cast those cares upon him and don't reel them back in. I hope that inspires you. I'll see you soon for another morning cup of inspiration. God bless.